right, we're back. It's your boy, Double D. He has polymorphed himself into your cousin from Boston. No, I'm not. I do like the Sox, though. But I got good news. Even you Yankee fans are welcome here because we are collectively mourning the passing of our favorite game as it falls into the hands of, well, for the lack of a better word, lunatics. Today we are going to be looking at Spelljammer. The new Spelljammer. I didn't really like the old Spelljammer. I didn't really appeal to me. But I wanted to get this just to see what they were doing. It kind of seemed like a perfect vehicle for their for what they're doing right now to the game. And from what I've seen so far, that was spot on. Today we're going to be looking at Boo's Astral Menagerie. Oh boy. Who is Boo, you may ask? Well, first of all, before we get to Boo, you'll get to see him a little bit, but let's look at the cover right now. All right, so about that cover. The art, for the most part, isn't bad. But look at the rider. I believe his name is Minsk. And on his shoulder is his hamster buddy, Boo. No comment. But look at how well the dragon is done. And I understand the background. It's pink and purple and blue. You can get away with that, in Spelljammer, where it's kind of set in space, and you have nebula. So I knew this would be fertile ground for that color palette. But just look at how off that rider is. And just how inappropriate it is. I mean, he should be hunched over, riding this thing. The dragon has his mouth open, in an aggressive stance. And he is literally just posing with his hands on his hip, like he just slayed some Nazi on Twitter. Just horribly, horribly, horribly inappropriate. This would be like painting the Mona Lisa, and then at the very end just saying, you know what this is missing? A giant booger in the nose. So yeah, it's just an awful, awful decision. It's like everything else is good, and then we just went to the Cal Arts art style on the rider and posed him in the worst possible way. How this got by editorial, well, we know how it got by, because it's Chris Perkins, and he is a full tilt SJW right now. So I'm sure he looked at this and said, oh, this is what we're looking for. And it's kind of funny, because maybe in some ways they knew that they'd be in trouble if they did this through the whole book, because the rest of the art in the book, for the most part, is varying degrees of passable to actually quite good at times. There's very few of this Cal Arts style in here. But to put this on the cover is inexcusable. Utterly inexcusable. So let's delve into the book. I'm gonna go through like 6 or 7 monsters. I don't want to get copyright struck, so I'm gonna claim looking at these as fair use. All right, so first, let's look at that little guy sitting on the rider's shoulder. Stupid. Yes, it's a hamster named Boo. Jesus. This is the almost lead character in a flagship release of theirs, pretty much a box set. It's just so demoralizing, that they're making this so cutesy. And we have to infantilize everything now. Everybody is like 5 years younger mentally than they are physically. So it's like they are literally thinking that this is going to catch on, and it probably will. A cute little Boo. But I mean, this is something that I wouldn't even look twice at. I mean, I would just groan and kind of turn the page, as it were. But they obviously mean for you to to have Boo in your game, either Boo or one of his compatriots, because they do show up later in the actual monster manual here. So on to the next one. Here we have some Astral Elves. And of course, they had to feature, looks like two male elves looking longingly into each other's eyes. And I guess enough said about that. Aside from the fact that including any of this kind of stuff in any game, regardless whether it's same sex, opposite sex, or interspecies, it's just weird. There was always a term, that people used, and I always subscribed to. It's called fade to black. But they do not want you, I think, to fade to black anymore. They want you to describe all the gory details of what's going on. Because as I said, we are a society that is on one hand infantilized, but pretty much addicted to Pornhub on the other. So it is insane out there. So yeah, they felt it was necessary for these two elves to gaze at each other in a loving manner, which is, who cares? But in the same respect, why? But the art itself is actually not bad, especially when you compare it to the cover of this book. Next, we have this version of the Modrons, the plasmoids. Boy, if you find yourself playing in this, let me know if you run across these guys, because they look really, really, really stupid. Call me a traditionalist, but if I was a player and my DM threw this at us, I would be laughing my balls off. But less said about these guys, the better. Then we have the androgynous Rhaegar. I don't know what to say about these. I mean, the artwork is okay, but again, I would, if these guys were to appear, I wouldn't know if I was about to be attacked or entertained. So I don't see much use for these in my game, but you guys may be different. Let me know in the comments below if that's the case. And while you're there, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're there, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. You get to see a lot more content like this, which leads us to the space clowns. The controversial space clowns that apparently needed a warning. Unbelievable. I mean, is Chris Perkins trapped in 1999? Does he still think clowns are scary? Just so stupid. I don't know. Again, I would be more apt to chuckle seeing these guys. I wouldn't view them as a threat. Looking at their stat block, I don't think they'll give the average party, unless they're very low, much of a challenge either. God, it just kind of points to the old like, hey, everybody in the room, our clowns are still cool, right? Let's just make them scary, huh? And I guess they did. Nobody had the balls to say, Chris, this is really dumb, and you're off your rocker. That'll lead us to old Boo's friends. Yes, the Space Hamsters. Oy, oy, oy. And of course, they have a giant hamster too, because I don't know, I guess it'll sit on you. Hey, this is where we're at right now. It seems like they're pushing these guys. Again, how could you look at this and not just kind of wonder, if something's wrong? I'm supposed to be playing this game. I understand you're in space, but man, there are just a million other ways you could make this setting a lot cooler without using hamsters. I think last I'm going to look at actually something I rather liked. It's called Naythalgu. love the artwork here. Like I said, most of the artwork in the rest of the book is passable. I thought this was actually pretty cool. And there is a couple other pieces that, would pass the test in any old D&D release. I thought this is the kind of thing, if I was playing in Spelljammer, sailing around the fucking cosmos in my ship, if I encountered these things, I would be like, yeah, rock on. This is what I signed up for. If I saw a fucking hamster, flying by, I'd be looking around saying like, what did I just get myself into? Did I make a wrong life choice somewhere? So yeah, so there are a couple of these in here. I don't want to say that everything is bad in this. There's definitely some bad stuff, but there's a couple of cool things in here. And like I said, any competent DM can pretty much salvage anything. It's just the amount of work they're going to make you do. So yes, I think that'll about wrap it up. Like I said, I don't want to get copyright struck, and so we are not off to a good start, I would say. There's a little bit here that you can use, but by and large, that cover really puts you off. It really, really puts you off. When you look at it, even people who are woke know when they look at it and they see that dragon and they see that rider posing like that, they know that there is something very, very wrong. And even if you don't want to admit it to yourself, I mean, subconsciously, it's noticed. And then they follow it up with the hamsters and the cutesy stuff, because this is how they want the game to go. It's not our game anymore, as they say. I mean, you can, of course, make it any way you want, but officially, this is what they're officially pushing. And it is not good news, especially on the heels of the Radiant Citadel. And you can take a look at all of those videos if you wish. I have a playlist. It is some of my early efforts. Some of it's a little raw. As you can tell, I'm trying to get a little bit more refined as I go. So I think that's going to do it here. We will probably have a little bit more on Spelljammer and maybe some other stuff too. Until then, it's your boy Double D signing off, and I'm wishing you a great day, and until we see each other again, goodbye.